Hey there, and welcome to Pixels Refreshed. I have a special guest here with me today. This is one of my favorite guests. This is my wife, Amy. And today we're going to be doing something really special. So we have the full suite of... Here, why don't you pull them up? So we have everything essentially released today. So I got up super early, and I waited in line to make sure that I could get all of them. I also couldn't sleep for other reasons because I'm crazy in that way. But my wife loves the smell of unboxing, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to unbox things and take a look. So why don't you unbox individual things, and then I'll talk about them as you go.
Oh, okay.
So let's start with the special edition.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So with this game specifically, I'm really set on special edition. And the only reason I'm set on special edition is because it comes with the art book. And you know how much I use art books.
Yep.
So I have like my copy of sorry, let's put this in front. My copy of Zelda Art and Artifacts and the Art of Breath of Fire and the Art of Zone of the Enders are kind of destroyed because I've overused them. So they do get good use. They're not just an additional thing. I do reference these often when I'm looking through. Sometimes I like having a physical book present so you can have a couple sources to kind of be in your space at once. Awesome. So, anyways, this is the special edition. You want to unwrap that for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of things with all of this. So I have been collecting the Metroid, specifically the Metroid series of Amiibos, because Metroid's one of my favorite series ever. And it was the one that I was set on getting all the Amiibos for. Yeah, let's see through this. Okay. Oh man, this feels so nice.
Smells nice.
It's very pristine. Oh man, they have like classic Metroids. Oh yeah. So they have a lot of the designs. I hope they have, like, in Metroid Prime, they had some phenomenal art that really inspired me, where they had to figure out how Samus fit in the suit. And I'm curious if they have similar types of art as well, because those are always kind of my favorites. So even like turnaround poses. So these are super useful for 3D modeling. They're in a T pose, but you would drop the arms down for stuff like that. Ooh, what's that? You want to hold it up to the camera, hon?
Yep. Little postcards.
I'll definitely be referencing these art books. So you got a set of postcards there. Never be mailed to anyone. Man, I love the concept section in this as well. So there's really nice concepts and works, and I'll definitely be referencing those in the future for other projects that I work on. So, anyways, super excited to get that. Now, we have... You want to unbox the Amiibos?
Yeah, take this. That's the sleeve.
So, anyways, we have the double Amiibo set. I was really worried that I wasn't going to be able to get my hands on either the special edition or the Amiibo set for these, and I wouldn't have cared for most things, but I cared a lot for Metroid. So, oftentimes, I mean, everyone knows the situation with getting Nintendo stuff is getting very difficult to be able to get access to the either the hardware or the games, and especially the special editions. So, I didn't want to have to buy these at insanely overpriced prices later or try to find them in game stores or things like that. So I was really grateful to get them right from day one. So we have these two here. Let's just pop this back.
Ooh.
That's how you get them. Here, you want to hold this one up to the camera for me?
Nice.
There we go. Which one is your favorite of the Amiibos so far, hon?
Out of these two?
Well, out of all of the Metroid Amiibos we have. Is it the Metroid in the pod? I think that one's pretty cool, actually.
I don't mind this one.
This one's pretty cool
quite nice.
too.
I like the color.
Yeah, I like Samus's color palette with this. I'm actually really happy with the design on Samus and Metroid. So, anyways, so we have those, and then of course to run them, we have the Switch OLED. Now, I talked about this in a couple other videos, but the Switch OLED is a big deal for me, and I was a little disappointed that they didn't increase the power, but I understand from a developer standpoint why they wouldn't, especially this far in the generation, because they don't want to alienate the audience, and it's also for developers, what happens when you release an upgraded hardware model is then everyone starts to look back at them and think, is this... are you going to patch your game? Are you going to do this? And then developers feel like they're being pushed to go back into the code it's okay for games that are up and coming. So if you have a game that's going to come out, hold that one up.
One feels heavier.
Well, one has the infrared camera in it, and the other one doesn't.
Oh, yeah, this one feels heavy.
There's the Switch itself. So anyways, the big advantages with an OLED screen are a couple of things. One of the big advantages is that...
I don't know if I want to take this out.
Okay.
We have to put the
Screen protector on it. Yeah. No, it's fine. So one of the big advantages that you get with an OLED screen is that there's very little motion blur. So what happens with pixels on LCDs is they twist to let light through, and that twist takes time. So the higher refresh rate it is, the less motion blur it has. But in general, it's impossible to get their true black to white refresh rate, their response time, to be perfect. So what happens is the value that they tell you for the response time is from a slight gray to another slight gray, and then from white to black is a considerably different period of time. So what ends up happening with, you can unlock the second layer and get the new dock out of there. What happens with a OLED is that it doesn't have that issue because the OLED materials are actually igniting the material itself, and it can get to very specific brightnesses that way. And also that's why they can ignite only a little bit, which is why they have much better values in lower color spaces. Oh, that's really nice, actually. So what ends up happening in that is that because they can ignite, you can actually get much more saturation in lower colors. Because with LCDs, they're all either backlit or side lit. And that means that you kind of have like a flashlight on the pixels at all times because the LCDs themselves don't emit light. And what that means is that colors in low spaces in the grayscale low range are desaturated. And that desaturation is not desirable. So you're going to get much better not blurring in motion visuals. You're going to get much better contrast specifically because the black levels on the base Switch are probably, I don't know, between like 4,000, 5,000 to 1. But on an OLED, it's literally infinite because it can do like infinite number of shades between the lowest value and perfect black. So the contrast gets much better. The saturation is going to be better across the board because instead of having a light on something and trying to be saturated, it's going to just immediately light up to the exact brightness saturation that it needs. I know you specifically, honey, weren't satisfied with your screen on the Animal Crossing Switch that you got.
Oh, yeah.
So she traded in her original launch Switch for a Animal Crossing Switch. And she loves the design of it and loves the aesthetic of it, but was not happy because the screen actually has a green tint and it looks slightly worse. So like these screen technology, and that happens from just a general manufacturing process. So what happens is that they have what's called color biases in screens, and specific batches of screens could have a slight red bias, a slight blue bias, or a green bias. And that is very common, but unfortunately, there's no way to know. It's a lottery when you get that. So anyways, I'm really excited. Metroid Dread's going to be the perfect game to play on this Switch in particular. Yeah, I got to show them the Steelbook for Metroid Dread. So anyways, got the Steelbook as well. And this is exciting. I'm very much looking forward to playing Metroid Dread. So anyways, I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions about OLED or other technology or Switch or Metroid, feel free to write them in the comments and click the like and subscribe button. And if we can get to 100,000 subscribers in a month, we'll give away a Switch OLED. How's that?
All right.
Okay. Take care.